My guys. Oh man, I got to do all that. Sheesh. Oh man, that's a big L on my behalf. Appreciate y'all for getting in the chat. Let me know. Let me know how they went on talking and talking and talking, and y'all wouldn't have heard nothing. All right, guys. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Um, Share the channel with a family, a friend, a fan of Florida State, a fan of the Gators. I'm pretty sure most of y'all know I'm a fan of Miami. Um, we're gonna talk some recruiting tonight, some visits, and all that good stuff. So first and foremost, as you guys know, visits are going on. It's a lot of top prospects they're visiting, and I seen a stat. I seen a very interesting stat. Now I'm just gonna get to the Miami Hurricane part and the Florida Gator part because the rest of it's gonna be irrelevant. Um, 26 of the top 300, not 300. I'm sorry, 26 of the top 100 prospects in the country will be visiting none other than the national champions, of course, reigning national champions, of course, the Georgia Bulldogs. 26 out of the 100 top prospects. Miami is number two on that list. Miami is number two on that list. I'm going to say it again. Miami is number two on that list. Tied. They're tied with Ohio State. They're tied with Ohio State for 16 of the top 100 prospects in the country will be visiting the University of Miami. Listen. I don't know how this works. I mean, oh, finish off the list. The Florida Gators, they got 11 of them visiting. 11 out of the 100. That's it. We ain't got to talk about the rest because Florida State ain't a factor when it comes to recruiting the high schools. That's tough. They ain't no factor. They recruit great out of the portal now. Hey, I got to give to them. They recruit great out of the portal. But when it comes to that high school recruiting, Mario's on it, of course. Georgia's number one, of course. Kirby doing their thing. They winning championship. They putting players in the league. Miami just went 5-7. But nonetheless, we got the second most top 100 players visiting the University of Miami. How does that work? How does that work? How does a team win 10 games and can't get nobody none of the top players in the country wants to visit them, but they just won 10 games. 10 games. They just won 10 games. Nobody wants to visit them, but they just won 10 games. It's pretty laughable. Now, I'm on Twitter. You guys can see the Twitter down below. Make sure you guys, follow me on Twitter if you're on Twitter. I try to keep you guys laughing over there. So obviously, I see there's a lot of slingshots going around. A lot of slingshots. Yes. I see the Florida Gator has decided that they're going to pull what Florida State did last season into this season. Billy Napier has the kids up there in a slingshot. They taking photos in the Florida Gator blue and orange slingshot. Of course, the Florida State fans on Twitter, they going nuts. They like, man, look at these boys trying to follow us. They don't want us in the SEC, but they want to follow us and buy slingshots and everything like that. Now, you know me, I see it, I laugh. I'm like, dang, these boys really went out and got their little Flintstone cars. You know the ones, you know the Flintstone car that Fred Flintstone used to drive. Guys, give me 1 second. 1 second. All right, guys. Sorry about that. The kids are getting a little rowdy. I got the place to myself now. They all gone. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. So back to what I was saying. So now we see recruits up there in Florida, of course, taking their photos with their little slingshot, and all the Florida State fans are going nuts. But I also seen the Georgia Bulldogs. They being clowned. They're getting clowned by the Florida Gators, a team that they've been putting a beating on for a minute. The Florida Gators are clowning these guys on the type of food that they're feeding the kids up there in Georgia. Now, from what I've seen, it looked like a little snack, little pasta, some sausage, maybe some seasoning, and a little bit of diced onions and stuff like that. Just a little healthy snack. Now I'm like, how can you clown a school about the type of snacks that they're feeding the kids on a visit when just last year photos was coming out of y'all camp? Out of y'all camp, y'all was feeding these kids macaroni and mayo. Macaroni and mayo. Who put mayo in their macaroni and cheese? But they clowning the Georgia Bulldogs for feeding these kids a healthy snack. Man, I'm telling you, them Florida Gators down bad this year. Down bad, man. They down bad. Now I seen. Let's talk about UCF a little bit. Let's talk about UCF a little bit. Let me take this off the screen real quick. So UCF decided they wanted to flex a little bit. They see the Florida Gators up there, posting photos with their little slingshot. So UCF decide, hey, let us get in on the fun. They posted the amount of vehicles that they got on the football field. I think it was like maybe 6 or 7, 8, 9 or 10 of them. They had a whole bunch of vehicles, Lamborghinis and all, Ferraris and everything. And I'm like, well, we seen Florida did that last year. We seen the Jaden Rashadas, of course. They're taking pictures in the Lambo, the blue Lambo, the one that ran out of gas before they got repossessed. We seen all this, and then they didn't land nobody that they went up against in recruiting against Mario Cristobal, of course, because Mario Cristobal stuffed Billy Napier in the locker for almost every one of those, recruits that was taking pictures with Lambos. So fairly, the cars don't mean nothing. The cars don't mean nothing. What are you telling these kids? What are you selling these kids? What are you telling them that they can believe? That's the question. So I want to say this. When it comes to recruiting, when it comes to visits and all that, all these teams, they're going to go out, they're going to put their best foot forward. And, a lot of photos going to come out. Like I said before, a lot of these grown men on Twitter, on social media, they're going to be in their feelings when they see some of their favorite targets and some of the kids that they do believe should be going to their schools, taking photos and, putting on jerseys and all that other stuff for the other schools that they don't like, and they're going to get in their feelings. They're going to go on there, type. Shout out to Uncle Lou. Type. And then it's going to be a whole mess. You got to love it, man. Guys like me, I just sit back, watch it, and just, gather my trolling material. But that's tough. So as you guys know, June this week, baseball going on, the college baseball, World Series or whatever. Miami's got, they beat Louisiana. They lost to Texas yesterday. They beat the Raising Cajuns, today. So it is what it is. They stay alive. They'll play Texas again, and if Miami can get past Texas, then they'll move on. If not, then the baseball season will come to an end. So hopefully that works out. Let's talk some of your favorite prospects. Now I know on the defensive side, David Stone, Justin. Those seem to be the two. And there's another guy by the name of Berlin. Those guys, 5-star guys, 4-star guy, depending on what metrics you're looking at. So I know some of those guys got their visits set mostly for the ninth. But we did have Cameron Franklin, and he did say something very interesting. I think it's going to come down to Miami, Notre Dame, and Georgia. He said basically right now, after visiting Georgia this week, Georgia is pretty much tied with Miami and Notre Dame for his commitment. So hopefully, Mario and the team could, push, go over the edge kind of deal or whatever to make sure that, we get this prospect. So it's going to be pretty interesting, man. It's going to be very interesting. Let me do a quick roll call, see who all in the chat. Montreal, what's going on with you? How you doing, boss? Let me start from the top. That way I don't get lost in the sauce. OG, what's good with you? Big guy. What do you have for us today? Just a little bit of recruiting, just a little bit of visits and stuff like that. Little fun facts. 16 of the top 100 players in the country visiting the University of Miami. I think 11 of them visiting the Florida Gators, and then Florida State is nowhere to be found. But hey, top transfer portal class. Palm Beach Canes, what's going on with you? That season, Miami and Ohio State will have 16 of the top 100 recruits. Tied for second. FSU and the Gators not even in the top 10. Well, the Gators got 11, so we'll give them a pass for right now. Florida State is nowhere to be found, and to be honest with you, they won't be nowhere to be found unless it's a guy in the transfer portal. Mike Norvell can sell that spot pretty easily. I can't hear him. Oh, this was from earlier. Oh, yeah, fix the audio. Thank you guys for that too, by the way. Aiden, what's going on with you? Miami Heat team looks good. I'm not a Heat fan. I'm a Laker fan, but I am at the moment rooting for the Heats. My team ain't in it. Let's go Miami. Okay, he say go Bulldogs. Georgia have a pretty easy schedule according to everybody. I mean everybody in their mama got Georgia basically running through their schedule. It's easy. They don't play nobody. Absolutely nobody. Ain't no challenge on that. They should three-peat with ease. Their biggest challenge should come in the playoffs, to be honest with you. So go Dogs, I guess. Let me see here. Recruits in the country knows FS Pool don't play. Yeah, they just gonna play the transfer portal guys, and Mike Norvell ain't gonna be able to coach no high school kid, develop no high school kid, or put no high school kid through. Now, interesting fact that I did see. Interesting fact. Now, this is comparing Florida State. They pulled up some numbers, and I'm not quite sure the numbers as of this moment, but they pulled up the numbers and they compared Clemson to Florida State since they've been talking about them two possibly playing for the ACC championship this season. As you guys know, there's no division, so the two teams with the best records will play each other for the championship. So Dabo Swinney, since the transfer portal era, since, as of recently, has only went into the transfer portal and pulled out two kids of all these years, 2 kids. I think Mike Norvell, if I'm not mistaken, Mike Norvell is in the higher range of 40 or more, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken. I can't remember the numbers, but I do remember Clemson has only went into the portal and got 2 kids. 2 kids. You know what? Here's the deal. Somebody could find out who those 2 kids that Clemson went into the portal and put it in the chat. The first one that does, I'll figure out something. You'll win something. You'll win something. I'll buy you something off one of these sports, whichever your favorite team is. I'll buy you something from their website or something. Somebody give me the 2 names of the 2 kids that Clemson pulled out the transfer portal. Let's see. He said nobody wants to watch trash behind Florida Lizards. That's tough. That's tough right there. Don't be yelling at those cute little angels. Man, They say, why would you go live in Gainesville if you have a choice? I would never go to Gainesville and go live. Ain't nothing to see, bro. Ain't nothing to see. Ain't nothing to see. Why would I take you to a state penitentiary and go live? Come on now. Come on. Rashada NIL money went for slingshot. The slingshot, the Mike Norvell slingshot. BB in the building. What's going on, BB? Oh man. Miami Heat versus Denver. They play tonight. Yeah, they play. I think Denver's up 1-0 right now. Denver's the favorite, but I won't count Miami out. I mean, they did give them 3% chance to beat the Boston Celtics, and here we are. So I wouldn't count them out. I wouldn't count out the Heat as of yet. All right, so we all caught up in the chat. So, yeah, man, Miami got a lot of guys down there. They got a lot of guys, a lot of blue chip. Now, as of right now, we only got one commitment. That is a blue chip guy. That is Chance Robinson. More chats will pop. Let me see. Marquise, what's going on with you? Salute T2Y Canes. Bum State University and Baby Lizards. Yeah, man. So, anyways, Miami got a few prospects that they're working on. Nestor James, for example, he's one. He's a 4-star linebacker out of Georgia. He's a 4-star linebacker. Miami's in his top three. It's coming down to Miami, North Carolina, and Oklahoma. Miami, North Carolina, and Oklahoma. 4-star linebacker. You know, if we could get him, that'll be a decent grab for us. It also showed that Derek Nelson out of Florida State, former Florida State linebacker, that is Miami's linebackers coach at the moment. It'll show that he can actually, flex his muscle a little bit in the recruiting. But, as of right now, he hasn't really proven anything in recruiting. So until then, you're just going to keep an eye out. Also, big news coming. I think I reported this to you guys earlier, though. There's a JUCO cornerback that Miami's going after, Demetrius Freeney. They're going after him pretty heavily. From what he said, from his interview, from the visit and everything like that, and his time spent with the coaches, Coach Day, and Mario Cristobal in the game. Pretty much, he could come in and pretty much make an impact right away. He could come in, work out, and possibly get play time. So definitely interesting. He does have a few more schools that he possibly could visit, but we're going to keep an eye out on him. We were his first visit, so we'll see how it go. Hopefully, everything work out and he do come to Miami, because as you guys know, I don't know if I reported. I think I did report it on the channel, but Terry Roberts, one of the corners that transferred into Miami from Iowa, has re-entered the transfer portal. Now, from what I'm hearing, he didn't quite make it onto the depth chart where he want to be, where he could possibly, get some footage, some tape, some quality tape to possibly try to go to the next level. He was a guy that came in from, Iowa, from a season where he only played 4 games because of injury. So, good luck to him. He re-entered the transfer portal. Double check on the chat. Young Seminole, what's going on with you? He said Hunter Johnson and Paul Tyson. All right, cool. I got you, Young Seminole. I'm gonna give you a $30 limit. So I guess find something on your website and I'll purchase it for you. There you go, T2Y. Thank you, my guy. So those are the 2 guys that Clemson has pulled out of the transfer portal since this whole transfer era with Dabo Swinney. So obviously, Clemson has been one of those teams that has not lost more than 2 or 3 games, right? They've won 10 games almost every season. So that goes to show you don't necessarily need kids out of the transfer portal. You just need top-tier coaches to develop top scheme, all kind of that good stuff, and keep those guys and pass the playtime down that way. Hey, next man up mentality, not hey. I know we got this guy. We're unsure about him. I know we trained him. I know we've taught him everything we know. But let's go into the portal and get this guy and play him over him, or let's get this guy out the portal so we could basically, take some snaps from him. That's not the approach that Dabo's looking at. That I don't think that's the approach that most of the coaches that can recruit at a high level out of the high school they're taking. You'll see most of those coaches that recruit highly out of high school, they'll go into the portal, get 1 or 2, 3 guys here and there, but they won't get a whole team out of there like Michigan State, TCU, Florida State, those kind of teams. They won't go in there and get a whole team, because obviously from what we've seen, Michigan State done it. They looked good. They put on a show. They put on a show. Then they fell right back the next year. TCU just did it. They put on a show, made it to the championship, and of course got waxed 65-7. That's tough. And obviously we're going to see what Florida State can do, what they're capable of with this transfer portal pool that they have, because on paper, the guys that they've pulled out of the transfer portal is pretty impressive. It's pretty impressive. You got to give them props there. But is it sustainable? Is there longevity? Can this actually, keep going? Can they keep doing this if none of the coaches on there can pull in any of the top prospects out of the high school level? They might have to continue to do that. So it's a tough thing, man. But hopefully Florida State is not the one to master it, because I don't need them going into the portal every year, skipping the process of, training kids and getting the best from everywhere and then, winning out of nowhere. I don't need that happening over here. No, sir. Not at all. You say Herna Johnson from Northwestern and Paul Tyson from Arizona State. Okay. Malik B says, I want to see Mario develop those recruits we get. Let's see what recruit development look like. Yeah, absolutely. Mario's first recruiting class came in. Didn't see too much. We did see a couple guys that, showed a little bit of, I want to say, they blossomed early. I want to say that, like Nigel Lee Kelly and those guys. Wesley Bassane, those guys, they showed early that, they could come on in and, make an impact right away. Then this past class, we just got a top 7 class. So this year now we'll see what they're capable of. I do believe that Francis Marigold will be a starter this season. One of the recruits actually kind of gave that away. Jarrett Gibson, he's a running back out of IMG right now, listed as a 4-star on the composite, 5 stars on some, but he's out of IMG. He's already said basically, if my boy Francis Marigold could come down here and start, then hey, why can't I do it? So it's a good look. Miami do have visits from these guys, so hey, man, we doing the right things when it comes to recruiting, and I do believe if we could get that talent and we could develop that talent, give them, be honest, like they say. Miami's being very honest with these kids, whether they're in the transfer portal or he's recruiting out of high school. So if we could get them down here and do as we say we do, develop them, put them on the field, put them in good position to make good film, like, the defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator that we have now, then everything should go up from there. It should be up from there. Cameron Franklin would be nice. D-lines, hope he commits. Yeah, hopefully we could get him. We got to keep in mind, though, recruiting is a process, is a marathon. So even if we do get these guys to commit, there's still possibilities that they can flip. So if we do get them, we want to stay on them, and our coaching staff is doing a great job at that. Probably one of the top in the country when it comes to communications with the kids and knowledge of their surroundings, what they got going on in their life. Mario is on top of it. So hopefully we can get some committed out of those guys, and up. It's up from there. Defensive line is definitely a position of need for us, especially going into this cycle. I do believe we'll get a commitment. Not going to say when or how soon, but we should be getting a commitment out of a defensive end pretty soon. Not going to say when. Not going to say. Not going to give you guys any date to hold me to it. And then if they don't do it, then you guys will come over here and tell me I'm fake news. So I'm not going to do that. But we should be getting a commitment out of defensive end pretty soon. I'm going to just say that. Don't need nothing. Just use the $30 ready to bet. Oh man. Oh man. You know what, young Seminole, I got you. $30 on Miami beating Florida State this year. Got you. Lock it in. $30 on Miami beating Florida State this year. There you go. Got you, my guy. Cristobal says Roscoe, what? To the Baby Lizards. I don't know who that is or what that is. I don't know if you're joking or not, but that one kind of missed me a little bit. I ain't gonna lie to you. Probably a joke that I should get, but I don't have no knowledge of. You have to be good evaluating damn recruiting at the high school level. You got guys that can't fit your system. Yeah. When it comes to recruiting, when it comes to the star system and all that, a lot of people get bought into it. Because I see a lot of, oh man, another 3-star guy. Oh man, this guy ain't got no star. Oh man, nobody's recruiting him. And then as soon as we give him an offer, all of these websites that never paid him no attention says, Miami evaluated this guy. What did he do that we did not see? Oh, wait a minute. I'm checking the list for this guy. I don't see that he went to any of the camps. So this is why we don't have an evaluation for him. Okay, cool. Let's take a look into him now. Boom. Next thing you know, this guy done popped up on the list. He's a 3-star. He's gone through from being a no-star to a 3-star in no time. Some guys just fly under the radar until a top school gives them an offer, and then it hits the airway, headlines everywhere, and then boom, everyone says, how did we miss out on this guy? Let's do our evaluations. And boom, they start, putting out these stars for him and everything like that. So at the end of the day, I trust my coaching staff's evaluation. Now, sometimes I know we get bought into it like, dang, man, this school and that school getting a 4 and a 5-star. We getting all these 3-star guys. It don't make no sense. We ain't recruiting good enough. These kids don't want to come to us, and we get all into that. But sometimes that it just ain't it. It just ain't it. Some of those top guys, too, you got to realize when you flip coaching staff, we might have been recruiting them at other schools, with these coaching staff, and then we come here and then we start recruiting them here. But it's a whole new process, because if I'm at Georgia and I'm telling this kid, hey, man, Georgia's the best place for you, this, that, and the third, everything's going to be this and everything's going to be that, then boom, I get a promotion, I'm going down to Miami. I'm going to contact that same kid. Now, everything that I just everything that I convince him about Georgia, now I got to deprogram that. I got to get him to come to Miami now. So everything that I told him about Georgia could have been true. Could have been 100% true. So now I got to do double the work to change his mind to get him to come to Miami. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. It is what it is. Miami 3, Texas 0, top 2. Okay, cool. We did beat Louisiana earlier. We're playing Texas right now. All right. Appreciate the update on that. Hopefully we get the win. I think we got to beat Texas twice, if I'm not mistaken. I think we got to beat them twice. Or did Louisiana take a loss yet? Maybe Louisiana got to play Texas. I don't know. But either way, I'll try to keep up with the baseball stuff. Jordan Travis was a blessing for FSU out of the transfer portal, but they can hit on another quarterback. Doubt it. Yeah, I mean, the transfer portal gives and it takes, man. The transfer portal gives and it takes. I mean, ask Deion Sanders. He just flipped the whole team through the transfer portal. We saw them go through like 51 guys, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Like 50, 60 guys hit the transfer portal. And then I think he pulled like 48 guys out the portal. So you could win and lose some battles in the transfer portal, but at some point you're gonna have to be able to recruit kids out of high school and develop them, because eventually some of those kids gonna say, you know what, Florida State is a transfer portal destination. They're not really a spot I really want to go to get developed. They're just a spot that I want to use the name and the brand just to get to the next level. And they do play, a high enough level of teams to where I can get to the next level, to where they can get some attention, from the NFL standpoint. So you don't want to be that team. You want to be the team that's all around, like the Miamis, the Georgias, the Ohio States of the world, the Alabamas of the world. Those are the ones that you really want to be like. Miami will finish around seventh in recruiting. Again, June 9th is going to be huge, 100%. Absolutely. We got like five stars coming in on June 9th. So hopefully we could get at least three of those guys to commit, at least three of them. I know some of them is going to be pretty hard to, get to actually, commit to this class. Ellis Robinson, he's already number one corner in the country. He's number one player in the country, if I'm not mistaken. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Actually, I think the Georgia quarterback is the number one, but nonetheless, he's committed to Georgia already. So if Miami's going to pick up a guy like Robinson, they're going to have to, put in the work to flip him from Georgia. So good luck to that. Like I said, man, a lot of 5-star guys. Most of those guys too are on the defensive side of the ball. So we'll see. We got a lot of prospects too at wide receiver that we're going after. A lot of them guys are starting to drop top 8, top 10s, top 5s, top 7s, and stuff like that. A few of those guys have already done so. A guy kept calling him Dorsey, but apparently his name is Derek. They just spelled it funny. He's committed. He's not committed. He's Cristobal to Penn State. I talked about him earlier. He did have his top 5 as Miami, Florida State, Penn State, North Carolina State, and I think Duke. Those are his top 5. And today we see the Cristobals came in from two of the guys that does it on 247 Sports. Gabby, for instance, for the University of Miami. He's put in his Cristobal for Penn State, and of course the Penn State guy, he put in the Penn State one too. So Miami and Florida State might have just gotten beat out by this guy. But don't worry, guys. Don't worry. He's only a 3-star. He's only a 3-star. So I'm pretty sure you guys won't be too mad. Man, gotta love it. He said Jordan Travis was throwing pick 6 at spring game. He will fall off the cliff this year. I mean, them legs, man. Them legs. That's what's gonna keep him alive. Them legs. Justin Scott will be the first big to pop, I think. Hey, I hope so. He was Cristobal to Miami already. A lot of the predictions on 0-3. 247 Sports and everything like that, they're leaning towards Miami, according to them. According to him too, I think it's Georgia, Miami, and Notre Dame. So if we could get him to pop, that'll be great. That'll be great. I think that'll be a huge way to start, pulling in some more blue chip guys. So far we only got one, like I said, that's Chance Robinson, the wide receiver that's already committed, 4-star wide receiver. Bo Smith and Trader on campus this weekend, I believe, or coming up soon. I've seen two Cristobals for the Florida State Seminoles. One was for Joe. One was for Trader. I don't believe that was put in by the by a Florida State insider. I don't believe it, and he hasn't put in Cristobals in a long time, so I don't really believe it. I think he's just gaslighting I think he's gaslighting. I don't believe anything he put. I don't believe none of his predictions. He's saying that Trader should be at Florida State. Um, Kylon Fox, if you want to call him, he's also being predicted for Florida State now. I can't quite remember who put in that crystal ball, but they did put in a crystal ball for him to Florida State also. Kylon Fox is one of those guys that Miami's going after also. So we'll see how that play out. I think the crystal ball is a little bit too early, to be honest with you. If I was doing crystal balls, I definitely wouldn't put any of them in until after these visits. None of my crystal balls would go in until after the week of the 26th. I would wait and see, let these kids go to these schools, let these coaches feed them with the knowledge or whatever they need to tell them about their campus, their coaching, their developing, their NIL. Can't forget that nowadays. Florida State isn't getting Smith or Trader. I don't believe they would either. It's gonna be pretty interesting to watch Smith recruitment play out. He is committed to Ohio State at the moment. He does have a visit locked in for Miami. I think that's on the 23rd that week. So we shall see. Miami is definitely on his recruitment. At one point, he did tweet it out that he would never come back to the campus, the University of Miami, but here he is locked in his visit. So I think he does want to be at Miami. I think he do want to stay home. I think Miami will just have to go out, play games, and show him, the offense. I think if we put in enough work to where we could show him that receivers can thrive in this offense, I think we do. We had a high chance of flipping him from Ohio State, but we'll see. We'll see. You say Trader will be a Kane, Smith will be a Suckeye. It's possible. That's possible. That could be how it play out, to be honest. Got a Georgia Bulldog, Mo Money Dog 2. Real question is, who has the number one class? Georgia. This train just started rolling. Go Dogs. Yeah, man. Shout out to you, Georgia Bulldogs. Shout out to y'all, man. Y'all are doing phenomenal things in recruiting. Y'all playing them. Y'all doing it on the field. Hey, I got no hate for you Bulldogs, man. Y'all done proved yourself. I ain't got no hate for you guys. Y'all are doing absolutely wonderful. Y'all are doing it. I ain't got no hate for you Bulldogs. I ain't got no trash to talk about y'all. He says nobody cares about UGA. Man, well, we gonna have to care about Georgia because during the season when I do these live shows, it's always on Sunday. Sunday is always dedicated to college football in general. Every team in college football. We normally do previews, predictions, and everything going into the week. The next week, we talk about the results. Top 25 games, all the teams in the Power Five. So, technically, Georgia does have a home here, especially in the season, and especially that I am going to start back picking up doing Sunday shows. Sunday shows will be dedicated to all of college football, not just Miami, Florida State, and Florida, by the way. Those shows during the week, I will do shows on Florida State, and Miami. Basically, I've already started doing that, but I kind of laid off from doing it because obviously there wasn't enough news in the off season, So the closer the season get, the more news will start picking up, and I'll start back doing those shows: the Miami Monday, the Florida State Wednesday, and Florida Gator Friday. And then on Sunday, we'll get together and talk about all the games that happened over the week, who won, who lost, that kind of stuff. So that'll be the plan for the channel, this, that, and third, especially during the season. Nobody wants to be like Miami. Stop the cap, T2Y. Nobody wants to be like FSU. Listen, y'all just came off of losing 4 straight seasons, behind Mike Norvell. Y'all finally got past, the 500 mark. So let's not do that. Jeremiah Smith has an official visit on the 19th of FSU. I think, to be honest with you, if I think that's a wasted trip. I think that's a vacation plan for Jeremiah Smith. To be honest with you, I don't see him going to Florida State. I honestly don't. I don't see him choosing Florida State over Ohio State or even Miami. To be honest with you, y'all got to think about it. In order for him to come to y'all and expect, what is he going to expect from y'all? To be honest, he's going to come up there and do what? Train for 2 seasons, develop, and then boom, Mike Norvell has reached into the transfer portal and grabbed another wide receiver at his position to take his spot or take his snaps. Man, stop it. A lot of the people say that the dude who put in the crystal ball for Trader to FSU had nothing to base that on. Exactly. I don't trust anything he said. I don't. He just be on Twitter too much, man. He just be on Twitter too much. He gonna eat a lot of crow after the recruiting season. Laugh out loud. I ain't gonna eat no crow. Y'all on the high school level, y'all just ain't it. Y'all ain't it. Y'all ain't hitting on the high school like y'all hitting in the portal. Say, let's not waste our time on Smith. Well, don't tell me that. Tell that to Mario. Mario's philosophy is to basically recruit these guys all the way down to signing day. So you gotta have to tell that to Mario. Miami delusional. FSU killed them in recruiting. What? FSU kills them in recruiting. What month is this? June? Is this June? Last year we did the same thing. We went back and forth with the Florida Gators. We're not gonna do this year with Florida State. We're not. The Gator fan says Cap. At this moment, I don't know what he calling Cap for. Vic 2, what's going on with you? FSU top school, not even close. Top school for who? That's the question. For who? We should still try with Smith. I agree. I mean, even if I disagree, Mario's still gonna try. You don't give up on a recruit like that. Just think he's going to Ohio State. Yeah, we're not gonna give up. Mario's not gonna give up. That's how he do it. FSU trolling the recruits. I don't know where T2Y getting his FSU rolling and recruiting. I don't know why T2Y is getting his nonsense from. Okay, so you got a couple of guys that committed early. Think about all the guys that haven't committed yet. Think about all the top prospects in the country that hasn't committed yet. Think about when they do commit. When your Alabama's, when your Florida start getting they commits, when your Miami start getting they commits, when your Oklahoma, your Michigans, and all of those guys start getting they commits. I want you guys to know, at one point, I think this was last year or the year before, Tennessee was the number one. They had the number one recruiting class. They didn't finish I don't even think they finished in the top 10. So you could jump out and be the first and, have the top recruiting class in May, in April, and all of those, like Florida State right now. Florida State is what? What number are you guys in the country right now? Y'all like what, 4 or something like that? Or 5 or something? Y'all somewhere up there. But I don't pay attention to it. I don't. Because I know once we start getting our commitments, we're going to get better commitments than y'all. We're going to get higher ranked commitments than y'all. We're going to finish with a higher class than y'all. We're going to do so also against the Florida Gators. I believe the order that it's finished in, and I'm going to say it on record, Miami, then Florida State. Miami, then Florida State. That's how I see this recruiting playing out, plain and simple. Billy Napier, as bad as a coach he is when it comes to play calling and making decisions on offense, he's a better recruiter than Mike Norvell. We're not talking about the transfer portal, guys. We're talking about high school recruiting here. Miami and Florida will finish with a higher ranking class than Florida State. I'm looking at this video right now. We're 55 minutes in. Mark it, book it. Mark it, book it. Write down the date. 6/4, 6:51. It's 6:51 in the afternoon right now. T2Y says that Miami will finish number 1, Florida Gator number 2, and Florida State number 3 out of the big 3. Mark it down, write it down. Come back and tell me if I was wrong. I guarantee you. Florida State's going to embarrass Miami like Nuggets going to embarrass the Heat. Huh? We'll see. Sunday shows sounds cool, T2I. I like that. Yeah, man. We've been doing that for the past couple of years now. Normally when I do that, I'll have guys on with me. Sergeant AR10, sometimes CJ Canes 87. Who else be on there? Jordan Bowman. Sometime 863 Seminole TV, he pops on too. So those Sunday shows normally are loaded, and it's not just my opinions. I normally ask those guys what their opinions on, some of the games. We do talk about, some of the big time games that's being played that week. So that Sunday show is always lit. Y'all done had 1 10-win season in 20 years. Stop the cap, T2. Hey, man, that's tough. That's tough. Hey, I never said we had more than one. When did I even talk about that? I said Clemson had, 10-win games and all that. I said Florida State finally won 10 games after, 4 straight losing season under 500. I did say that. I didn't say Miami had more than one, though. He already made his pick. I guess he's talking about Smith. Anybody higher than a 3-star wasted their time. The you don't want them. Come on now. Stop it. Stop it. Get some help. Get some help, my guy. You know what? As a matter of fact, I got you.
Stop it. Get some help.
Talking about Miami only recruit 3 stars and lower. That's tough. That's tough. Man, both FSU and UF fans were talking the same ish about recruiting last year. This time, what happened? I said it. You said it. We see it. We see it. We see it. Evaluating Bum State University to the Denver Nuggets is crazy. I mean, equating. I'm sorry. Evaluating just seems to be popping in my head right now. Equating Bum State University to Denver Nuggets is crazy. Yeah. One's winning and one's, barely putting a foot forward. The difference this time is us and FSU got one more 5-star. You get them early. Now, Gator Nation, what if I told you that one of y'all commits right now is a possible Miami flip? Chancey. Keep it moving. We got like 3 or 4. 2 ain't get the 5-star yet. Yeah, bro. Most of the 5-stars and high quality 4-star guys that you guys, rated very highly on these metrics, they're gonna commit probably signing day, early signing day. So you're not gonna get them now. So let's just say at the end of the cycle, all those guys, let's say Miami signed 5 stars. Just throwing a number out there. Miami signs 5 stars, but all of those guys choose to sign on National Signing Day. It's not going to help us, win these trolling battles with you guys in June. It's not going to help us in June. I mean, look at the Florida Gators. When they flipped Jaden Rashada, they was clowning. Now, ex-Florida, when signing day came around, what happened? What happened? How much of a difference did he make for y'all class National Signing Day? Y'all better learn. Y'all better learn. Hey man, I learned. Take it with a grain of salt. I'm happy. You guys are my witness. Y'all are my witness. When we get commits, I put out the video. I'm glad that they chose to be a Miami Hurricane. They could have chose anywhere else. When they commit and they sign, hey, I'm glad that they did. If they flip, then hey, good luck somewhere else. But until they sign, man, I'm very careful until they sign. And to be honest with you, until they enroll is another thing. Because you can sign and still, ask to get out of your letter of intent. It's tough. We've been seeing it. I mean, the Florida Gators provided a perfect example. Jaden Rashada, he signed with Florida. He also asked for that letter of intent to get out of it. So, hey, it's recruiting. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Marathon, not a sprint. Marathon. Yeah, FSU has only 3 top recruits to visit this month, while Miami has almost 30. FSU fans, calm down. Hey, don't tell them nothing, Mario Cristogo. Don't tell them nothing. Let them sit back. Let them talk all this trash. And then, I'll revisit these conversations. I'm definitely taking notes. My dad always told me, the man that laughed last is the man that laughed the best. I do a lot of laughing last. So, Mr. HD in the building, you think them boys got any toys with their tickets at D&B's? That one kind of going over my head too, because I don't know I don't know, my guy. I might be lacking knowledge on that one, Mr. HD. But what is D&B's, to be honest with you? I might have to look that up. I might look it up and find out, I do know what that is, and feel stupid. But that one going to go over my head. All these Louis with the TT, he's putting a whole bunch of cap. Don't know what that is. Another $30 on Florida State finish higher in recruiting than Miami T2Y. Absolutely. Young Seminoles, 100%. Absolutely. Another $30 on that, right there. I guarantee you, Miami will finish with a higher ranked class than Florida State in this recruiting cycle. Absolutely. Write it down. Put it in a book note. Book it. Sunbelt Billy will not keep a top. Keep a top. I think Florida's situation where at certain positions where they're recruiting highly ranked kids, I think it'll play out for them because their roster is so depleted and their talent is not adding up. Plus the scheme and everything is not matching some of those players. So I do believe they will convince some of those kids that they can come on in, play right away, and they'll come in, they'll stick. I think Florida will definitely have a good class. But if they don't, that works out great for the channel. I'll pump out a lot more Florida Gators videos when some of them kids decommit, when some of them kids decided that they don't want to go play at that dumpster fire. Absolutely. I love it either way. I like it even better when they decommit from Florida. Montre, see, there are some smart Florida State fans out here. He said it's early. Absolutely. I'm not gonna lie, Florida State gonna have a lot of predictions for the same high guys right now. I don't think they do bad this year. Me being unbiased. Listen, if Florida State go out there and win all these games like they're predicting, they show up and show out. They will get some top prospects. They will get some more eyes on them. A lot of those kids, you gotta understand, this generation we live in, a lot of those kids will buy into the hype. If a whole bunch of kids start saying, you know what, I'm going to Florida State, a lot of them will follow. There's a lot of this. This is the follower generation. That's all I'm gonna say. This is a following generation. Sunbelt Bills will not finish with a top 10 class, like Mario's did after the Gators go 5-7 this year. Wow. Mr. HD says the Gators are going 5-7 this year. You so generous. Because I got them going 4-8. I got the Gators going 4-8. So you just snuck another win up in there for them. Man, who they beating? Vanderbilt? Vanderbilt? It gotta be Vanderbilt. He said 7 3-stars is crazy, not gonna lie. 7 3-stars is not crazy. Because if you go back and look at most of the classes, most teams have at least 6 or 7 3-star guys on their recruiting classes. Go back and look at some of them top classes. A lot of them are on there. The reason why y'all are so focused on the 3-stars now is because they committed early. Most of them would commit all together throughout the year. So y'all are just focusing on them now. But if you go back and look at most of your classes, a lot of those 3-stars are on there. I mean, hell, Florida State had a lot of 3-stars last year. Miami had a lot of 3-stars last year. So Florida had a lot of 3-stars last year. It just all depends. Right now, they're committing early. Miami's getting those guys out the way. Big fish, big whales are coming. We big fish hunting right now. I got my fishing hat on and everything. We going big fish hunting. Y'all was in front of us last year around this time. What you mean? We go talk regardless. You're not from Florida if you don't talk shit while you're up or down. Exactly. I love it. See, when we up, I talk trash. When we down, I still talk trash. So it don't matter to me because I already know how these things play out. I already know how they play out. VicTube in the building. VicTube, did y'all see what Kurt Herbstreit said about LSU and Alabama being better than Georgia? No, I didn't. I might have to check that out. I tell you one thing, though. If, in fact, LSU is better than Georgia and Alabama, and that's not me saying it, but I'm just saying, if they are, I can't wait to watch them play Florida State. Ooh, I can't wait. They're going to beat the brakes off Norville. Listen, if LSU go out there and embarrass Norville the first game, man, y'all could throw all that hype out the window. All of it. Ruiz bag, low. Miami finishes top 20s this. Miami finishes 20s this year. Come on, bro. I need y'all to think. Some of y'all drink, but y'all don't drink responsibly. Louis, you drinking right now, but you're not drinking responsibly. You was drunk when you typed that. Ruiz is not the only man in Miami with the bag. He was just the most loudest man in Miami with the bag. Fun facts. Ruiz is still providing NIL. He's just not doing it out loud anymore. He's taking a step back from being the loud man. He's still providing. Life Wallet is still doing its thing at Miami. Don't get me wrong. But that is not just it. Listen, y'all brains, when it comes to this NIL and where the money is coming from, you can't even fathom how many billionaires, how many millionaires is behind this university. Y'all can't even fathom it. You're not seeing guys like Ruiz just come out and say it, so you don't know that it's there. And it's cool. It's understandable. But we got more money than y'all. We're richer than y'all. We better than y'all. We just better than y'all, man. It is what it is. Y'all are city schools. We are private school. Y'all public. We private. Our money ain't out there for you to see. Now, what I can tell Florida, I'm gonna tell Florida State this: stop spending the budget that they got for the homeless people on y'all little. Let me stop on y'all little stadiums and renovations that y'all got going on, using the money that y'all supposed to be using for the homeless, allegedly. Allegedly. Oh man. Laugh out loud. FSU and UF fans think they're big boy recruiters. I bet you none of those dudes are here in December, right? I mean, June, June, December is a whole different. It's a whole different animal. It's a whole different animal. We go see. Miami will sign 2 5-star defensive tackles this cycle. Hey, I'll take it. I'll take it. If you commit and flip, you weren't committed. Hmm. You might be right. You might be right. But then again, you might be committed because you thought you had the best possible option. And then boom, a better one just happened to come along. It's kind of like girls. I'm pretty sure a lot of guys, the first girl that they fall in love with, oh man, she's so pretty, she's so cute, this and that. And then you go out into the world and then you look around and you say, well, damn, I got this vanilla ice cream at home, but man, that strawberry over there looks so great. Or man, I want to try some of that chocolate. You try them and then you realize that, hey, they are better than the vanilla. Let me stop there. Let's keep it moving. You might be right though, Vic. If you commit and flip, you probably were never committed. You you. But then again, you could be persuaded. It's subjective. It's subjective. Um, Miami will sign the best defensive line class in the country this cycle. Hey, we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see. I wouldn't go against it though. Yeah, we don't speak that boy name no more. Who you talking about? Jaden Rashada? Jaden Rashada, that's what you talking about? I don't talk about him no more. David Buster T2I, come on. Okay, David Buster, got you. I think I went to David Buster like one time in my lifetime. I was young too. When I win your $60, I'm gonna turn it into pennies and pennies. Oh man. When I win your $60, come to think about it, I don't even see ice cream trucks riding around the neighborhood no more. So I was gonna say I'm gonna take your $60 and I'm gonna go to an ice cream truck. And all the kids in the neighborhood that shows up for ice cream, whatever they pick, I'm gonna use your $60 to buy. Let me see exactly. Jeremiah Smith is a follower, not a leader. Gators head coach Billy Napier better get his team off the mat in 2023, or he will go the way of Muschamp, old Battle Tooth, and Dancing Dan. Man, if Billy wins 4 games this year, like I'm predicting, 4-8, 5-7, 6-6 at best, is it a fireable offense? Because I mean, he hasn't been there long enough to really recruit and get his own people in there. But is he going to get the Willie Taggart effect? A season and a half or something? Maybe 2 seasons before they fire him and replace him. How down bad would Florida be if that were the case, where they end up having to fire Billy Napier? We play him in 24 and 25, so they better stop it. That's tough. Them boys not keeping the top 10 class if they go 4-8. Laugh out loud. Let them be recruiting champs in June. Listen, I'm with you. I'm just gonna watch it play out. I'm gonna watch it play out. Now, when we do get our big names and start committing, I don't care if it's June or July. I'm still gonna be talking trash. But I'm gonna watch it play out too. Because if those guys flip, I already know everybody gonna come and tell me about it. There's no way Florida State doesn't do good this year. They brought a lot back by adding elite transporter kids. You know what? I heard this before. I heard this 2017 after we won 10 games. I also heard this in 2020 when we went 8-3. Let's see. We'll see. He said, "No, we only had like 3 3-stars last year." What you mean? We had straight 4-stars. Yeah, they did have the Florida Gators had a high rate blue chip ratio last year. I'll give them that much. But even with all the 3-stars that we landed and everything, we still finished with a better class than they did. Because our 3-stars could have easily been 4-stars. They was high rated 3-stars. So if you needed like maybe 20 more points to be a 4-star, some of our 3-star just didn't quite get them 20 more points. But some of Florida's 4-star guys, they had the 20 points to get there. So, our 3-stars was almost just as good as some of their 4-stars. So that's why we finished better than them. And our class average was better than theirs. So there you have it. Our top guys was so highly rated, like, Francis Marigoa and those guys. It balanced out the rest of the guys that was pretty much low 3-stars and everything like that. You get it. You say, T2Y, talk about Miami becoming AAU member. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen something about that recently. I think Miami joined I don't know how many schools that's finally AAU member, but I didn't really look too much into it. But what does that mean nowadays? Because I think any conference that Miami going to, even if they weren't like AAU, I think they would give us a pass. Because I know a lot of conference does hold that as a standard. I think the Pac-12 had that as a standard at one point, if I'm not mistaken, allegedly. So I think the AAU status is pretty great, but I think Miami as a whole, as a brand, we could go anywhere. And even if we weren't AA and then AA was a standard, they probably still would let us in. They wouldn't do that for Florida or Florida State if they weren't, though, because we just better than them. LSU is going to blow Florida State out the water. Absolutely. Ruiz is just one billionaire that's helping Miami and yeah, but I'll stop. Keep talking. Yeah, let them talk out their behinds. Y'all don't have more money than y'all NIL system just set up better than ours. We got more people that's willing to put money into this university. Got to think about it. Our degrees are worth way more than y'all's. Y'all degrees are like handout toilet paper. Our degrees are like Hennessy. Your degrees is like Hennessy. Y'all are like toilet paper. It don't even compare. It's not even in the same. It's just not the same. It's not. He said Eddie Rojas was robbing them folks in 999. Y'all was giving this cokehead, alleged cokehead, all this money. Oh my God! Let me keep it moving before I get myself in trouble. I don't need nobody trying to sue me. Man. It's a big deal because you have an AAU member to get in. You have to be an AAU member to get in the Big Ten. Okay, I was trying to stay away from it, but conference realignment. Miami, Florida State, Clemson, North Carolina. For the past couple months now, it's been the talk. These 4 teams are leading the way to get up out of the ACC. Who will join them? Then we heard about Virginia Tech, NC State, and as of recently, Louisville. So 8 teams that could possibly, break the conference. We got 8 members. They were saying 7, and then Louisville joined the lights. So now we got 8 members that could possibly break the ACC. Now, the grant of rights is a whole different beast. If we were to break the ACC, we still would be stuck in the grant of rights, which is probably like $500 million until 2036. So breaking the grant of rights and breaking up the conference might be a tough act, might be a tough thing to pull off. But nonetheless, AAU, Miami has joined AAU, which now is leading a lot of rumors about the Big Ten. Now, if Miami joined the Big Ten, I will not be surprised. I will not be surprised because I've been hearing the rumors just like you guys. Miami and Notre Dame possibly joining the Big Ten. If it happens, I just want to know how we get out of this grant of rights without paying $500 million. That's what I want to know. Because I know the conference, we know this conference can, be dissolved. They have the 8 teams to do it. But how do we get out of the grant of rights without paying all that money? And who all in this conference can afford to do that? I mean, we could do it, but is it worth it? We could join the Big Ten and get all that money from Fox, but would Fox be willing to do all that? Would Fox be willing to pay all that? Would Miami be willing to pay all that, giving up all that money? I don't know. I think we might have to revisit this whole conference realignment when it comes to the ACC in a couple of years, because every year we're in it, the buyout go down. So I don't think nobody wants to pay that much right now. But trust me, I've looked at the amount of money that the conferences are planning to pay out. 2029, let's jump straight to 2029. 2029, the SEC and the Big Ten will be paying each school that's a part of their conference over $100 million in TV deal money. Over $100 million. The ACC will be paying each team in the conference $55 million. 55. That's a huge difference. That's a huge difference. In 2029, UCF will be making more money than the University of Miami and the University of Florida State University. Think about that. That's tough. Man. It's like I said, it's a whole different ball game. It's a whole different conversation. I really don't want to get into it until these lawyers figure out how they're going to get out of this deal. Now, I'm going to cut this camera because obviously my eyes, after sitting under this lamp for so long. But I don't know how it happened. I don't see how it happened. But if you guys want to give your thoughts and opinions on anything, especially the visits, realignment if you want to, NIL, anything, you're more than welcome to. I'm putting a link in the chat for anybody that wants to join in on the conversation. You can hit the link in the chat. Florida State fans, you're more than welcome. Florida Gator fans, you're more than welcome. Let's talk recruiting. Let's talk visits, odds and chances of landing some of these guys. You can even come in here and tell me why you think if you're a Florida State fan or a Florida Gator fan, why you think your class is going to finish higher than Miami's. The link is in the chat. And also, guys, make sure you hit the like button for me, please and thank you. Please and thank you. As we get closer to the season, I am going to start picking back up, like I said, doing more live shows. I'm still debating whether or not I want to start doing the Monday, Wednesday, and Friday this upcoming week, or maybe the week after. I'm thinking about taking maybe the week after. I kind of want to take a vacation, to be honest with you. I need to take a vacation. Actually, I need to go to Jamaica. So the link is in the chat. Let me pull up something here, some key points about the University of Miami before. Let me see if I can get you guys an update on the baseball game too. Right now, at the moment, Miami is playing Texas in baseball, guys. So it's a make or break game for Miami. If they win, they stay alive. If they lose, the season is over. It looked like the season might be over. In baseball, the season might be over. As of right now, Miami is losing to Texas 9-3. 9-3, the end of the third. Now, they got plenty of time to come back and win, but who knows? This season might be over, man. We're losing to Texas right now, 9-3. So that's tough. Um, you say softball is all that matters. Yeah, in Tallahassee. That's the only thing y'all can win it. That's the only thing they can win up in Tallahassee. Some softball. Let me show y'all what I've been dealing with on Twitter. Since I don't stirred up some trouble with Florida State and Florida fans. All of them decide they want to reply to me and tell me about the blowout from last year, like I care. Then Brashard Smith was recently seen taking a photo in a Ferrari. He took a photo in a Ferrari. So I decided to take that photo and I posted it, and I put basically Florida, Tallahassee and Gainesville, they don't know nothing about that. Basically, they out there renting slingshots while our players are out here driving Ferraris. So of course, all of them took to Twitter to reply and try to tell me. Now this girl here, she at first she posted about Florida State this and Florida State that. They got money to get Lamborghinis and all that. Y'all ain't the only one with Lamborghinis. So I had to kindly, tell her to sit this one out because she don't know the difference between a Lamborghini and a Ferrari. That's tough. Yeah, I actually told her that that's not a Ferrari. Of course, all of them, you guys. So me saying that they rented these slingshots to take photos with, all of them want to tell me about our rented stadium, and I just been ignoring them. I just been ignoring them, but it's pretty funny. All right. Well, since nobody wants to hit the link, I'm just gonna end the show where we're at right now. Appreciate you guys for tuning in with me. Like I said, more shows coming pretty soon. Y'all have a good night. Go Canes. Go Canes. Go Canes. Good night, folks.